Hello there, I'm Ilja.
Good evening, I am Alina.
Today we're talking about our top 3 picks for gateway games. And in this topic it was a bit difficult for me because there are several gateway games that work in different environments differently. So the ones I have picked are the ones that have proven through the time that I have shown to non-gamers who love them and then who wanted to play some more strategical games, you know. I'm not mentioning, for example, code names or anything like that, or Spyfall. These are more of the party games that will not necessarily bring non-gamers to the hobby and to wanting to play more complex games. But there are awesome games to play with non-gamers, of course. So this will be the games that will influence non-gamers or casual gamers into playing more strategical games with more depth. That's my criteria for that. So
gateway game, in my opinion, the ones that I have in the list are games that I will show to the person with basically intention to show like the gamer's game, something apart from Monopoly or party games, to show what is real board game. So for me, the gateway game has to be like a real board game that is understandable and acceptable for non-gamers, but not just a non-gamer game.
Yeah. Let's go to our picks now. Maybe you're first? I'll start. All right. My third game, top 3 game, is King of Tokyo. And you probably know this game very well. It's just a bunch of dice and cards with powers. One thing that may not be great for non-gamers if you have people who don't speak English that well. We are here in Estonia, so it's more of an issue here, but still, you can explain cards to them or translate them. That's the only minor thing that we can complain about regarding that.
I wouldn't complain. In Estonia we speak quite good English.
Yeah,
we have only one friend who doesn't really.
But we play with him a lot. So, but the thing is that it's a really easy game with a cool theme. The artwork is a bit like goofy or childish,
nice.
but it's nice. You have this big chunky dice. You just throw dice and try to get some symbols that you need, and it's so easy concept to understand and to explain. You have hearts, these are lives. You have claws, these are for combat, and you know, it's stars are points, and it's so easy. It's so clean design, and it's so fast. It's engaging, and you're fighting with each other. Although it shows the Yahtzee mechanic in a more of a unique way, and it introduces the special powers. These are the cards. And the special powers are more of that gamer's game side. That's why I consider that to be a good game to introduce to non-gamer to get him to the hobby. Especially because of these special cards, action cards in the King of Tokyo. That's my opinion, because the special powers, there aren't any special powers in Monopoly and any other games. And special powers might be a bit of that gamery thing. So.
Yeah, it's fun game. It's like extremely fun game. Maybe that's the reason why I wouldn't call it gateway game, because that's more like a non-gamers fun stuff, not like a strategical. But that's totally my opinion. That's like that's the way we felt the gateway differently. So my number 3 is Mission Red Planet, the second edition, the newer. This is as well quite elegant, straightforward design, where you have special
roles.
Yeah, the roles, and you have to select them, and you have to like control the area. So the way you manage the cards, build up your let's say armies or colonies in the
colonies.
Yeah.
Mars.
On Mars. So it's fun, it's engaging, and it has that real board game in it.
Yeah, it has, but I think it's a bit more difficult to be a gateway game, in my opinion. I love the game. I love the game really, and maybe not. It depends on the people. Sometimes you get people who we played Rune Wars with people who played board games for the first time. Rune Wars, but these people were playing lots of video games, so it depends on a person.
Yep. I
If
think
he's
we
able
don't
to learn.
really have friends who wouldn't manage to play Mission Red Planet. Well, I always,
Yeah.
of course, I try to look from our opinion, so from our friends, and figure out there.
Maybe for me, the Mission will be like too difficult as a gateway game, but still a good choice, and it's not that difficult. Yeah, it's a streamlined version. So, my number 2 is Airlines Europe, and this one worked as a gateway game in our community here at our home when we played it really well. It has the theme of like stocks and everything, like economic feel and theme to that. But it's really easy. You're just collecting a bunch of cards. You're doing the set collection, and you're buying planes to increase the price of the companies, and then get points for that. It's so easy to understand. It's so easy to teach. It looks cool on the boards. It doesn't look like, for example, for people who love Monopoly, and it's like economic game, you can introduce Airlines Europe and say, it's sort of an economic game as well. Let's play this one instead. Let's try this one. And this game, Airlines Europe, is more strategic, even more tactical at some point. It has these small miniature planes. It looks great on the table. It has a bit of that fun and humor, that gamers can understand, of course. But it has worked so well in our group. That's why it's my number 2 pick. That's because I have tested it out.
Yeah, I agree. It worked really well in our group. Like really, really, really well.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is K2. It's kind of racing game. So theoretically it's a racing game, but you don't try to be. It's not always good to be first. So this is, you're trying to climb the mountain. You try to be the first one who gets to the peak or who gets the highest. But you have to manage the speed and acclimatization. So the balancing between these two is quite hard. The game itself is extremely easy. So you have cards with basically like kind of 2 actions only. So acclimatization and move. Okay, you can put something else like tense, but the depth in it's quite good. One more good thing in the game is when I want to introduce the game to non-gamers, I feel that I want them to feel the emotion that we get from the game. You don't get real emotion from Monopoly, let's say, or okay, you get tons of fun from party games, but you don't have this, oh my, that was something emotion, but you get it from this game. You really feel the pain of like getting higher. You really feel that you're barely alive. So it's like, so the game that gives this powerful feeling with these such a like easy components and easy mechanic, it's amazing. I would show this game as like the depth, easy components, and the entire emotion.
Depth, yeah. To comment on that, I think you even meant that the emotion within the theme. The theme. If the theme creates an emotion, party games create an emotion, but they don't create emotion within the theme.
No. In that case, not only the theme. Because like economical game can create theme. Like emotion.
Yeah, but I mean maybe some more interesting themes for you. So, but
I'm different.
Doesn't matter. K2 is an excellent example of a quite hard game where you can play a non-friendly, family-friendly variants where the people can die as well, and it's a gamers like introduction game, it's an excellent choice for this category as well. I don't know, maybe some other games I like more myself, you know. I try to choose games that I would play as well. I like K2.
I would totally play it.
Yeah, I like K2, maybe not that much that the games I have chosen for top 3. But it's an excellent choice. You just have a bunch of cards, it's language independent. You have like move cards. It's easy to understand. Just when the weather comes, what weather comes, you know, you're just climbing up. And there's no much rules. It's just so difficult to climb up.
Yeah, let's say
and you feel that.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say in the game when you explain the rules, easy, but you actually feel that it's not as easy as you think, not as easy as you would expect from the game. So that's really good. Yeah, and of course, as Ilja already mentioned, it's really hard at the end to climb and to stay alive, because if one of your
even in the beginning, yeah, it's always hard. It's like climbing the Everest, you know. That's the theme. You're climbing the mountain, like trying to conquer the Everest. And
K2.
Yeah, sorry, K2. But there was a similar game, or it was a revamp of Everest, something like that.
Maybe.
So the thing is the same. So our number 1 picks now.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my number 1 is Survive: Escape from Atlantis. I think it's an obvious pick if you have seen it on the shelf, maybe, because it's just so plain easy to explain, and it's so cool on the table when you build up this 3D island and you have a bunch of special powers. It's a nasty game, and whenever you know that your friends are fine with being nasty in like some situations and with humor and everything like that, you can totally play this game with them. We played a lot of Munchkin with our friends, and then we introduced them to this one, and so it was really okay. It was not that nasty. And basically you have on your turn, so you move your guys on the island to the boats and trying to sail off, and it's as easy as you can get the game. But why is like the gamery parts are the tiles and the special abilities on the tiles. That's the gamery part, that you can introduce what different things can do, and there's strategy, there's bluffing. What else? I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what else. Yeah, to think up about the mechanics, but overall it has worked well with I think almost everyone with or I think with everyone I have ever showed it to. So that's why it's my number 1 pick. It's just a lot of fun. It's confrontational, and our gaming group likes that, you know. And it's just so easy to learn and to teach. So. Yeah.
Survive Escape of Atlantis is an extremely fun game. We always had a great laugh in the game, during playing the game. But my number 1 is much more deep and actually strategical game, and it is Airlines Europe's.
Airlines Europe.
Airlines Europe, not the opposite way. Okay, so in my opinion, this is the game that have proven the best in our gaming group to show the real board game to non-gamers. It has boring theme of stocks and investments and airlines and companies. It's quite unusual that you don't buy the companies, you don't own the companies, but you just own the shares, and you try, the companies are for everyone, and you just try to get the shares. The choices, like whether to buy an airplane and to invest in to make the specific air company better, or to get the share when you play the share on the table. It's because only played shares will score. So all of that is much harder, and people would actually feel what is like really thinking in board game. And when I want to introduce non-gamers to gaming, I want them to take gaming seriously, because it's not for kids. So I wouldn't show them a fun game. I would want to show them the game were to show how fun is actually thinking in the game. You can really enjoy that. So Airlines Europe is, in my opinion, the best so far gateway game.
Yeah, all the games in my list are very close. It depends on a different person, different group. You just pick some games and just play them. Yeah, we have several of gateway games that we could put on the list. It depends. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends a lot. What do you want to acquire with that? I really tried to explain that I want to show the real grown-up games where you think and where you enjoy that part. So that's what I would try to show with
Yeah, for me it's the same. Plus, I would love to show the mechanics that are in the gamers' games. I want to introduce the mechanics, and that's the main thing. That's why I will not, for example, pick code names if I know there is a potential that these people will be going to the hobby and want to play some more strategical games. So I will not show them more of that party style games, but these are easier. There are not much of the mechanics, but I want to show them more of this strategical mechanics, even worker placement sometimes,
Yeah.
something like that. We have some worker placement games, but we don't have that many of the gateway. They're a bit more difficult right now. So let's go to picks of our friends. Yeah,
Sure. Shall we?
all right. Kyle is first one, and Kyle says that his favorite gateway game is Stockpile, and he says, simple, light, but with enough bite to be enjoyable. The game includes so many elements that manifest themselves in later games, and it uses concepts of majority ownership, bidding, special abilities, and of course stock trading, which show up in many other games. It is simple and clean and easy to teach and understand. Okay, actually it's Summoner Wars, but I figured I would get in trouble if I put that in every category. He loves Summoner Wars, So, his pick is Stockpile that we recently got.
Oh, you don't see that high. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, we just got it last week.
Yeah,
Really looking forward to play.
I'm looking forward to try it, but I'm not sure if I will like it. It's still a stock market sort of economic game. Although they say that
Economy can be fun.
yeah, even for people who don't like stock market games or economic games, that can be a really good game.
Yes, especially you've seen that Airlines Europe is actually fun.
That's why I'm looking forward to Stockpile as well. So let's go to the next one. Margaret, or Maggie Bots, as you know her, says that her favorite game is favorite gateway game is Orleans. Sorry. And she says, Orleans is a fairly simple game that uses an unlikely mechanic. New players can often feel like they are competitive in their first few games. The novelty of pulling your choices from a bag and trying to optimize what could come out is a great introduction to what the hobby offers to its players. A glimpse at the greatness that modern board games can provide is all one needs to hook a new player. And she's right, I'm not sure if she's right about the game.
It sounds so difficult as a gateway game.
Yeah, but I can understand where she's headed, because we played Orleans, we traded the Orleans away, I think more because few other folks didn't like it. I liked it quite much. I don't know if back building, yes, there's a lot of, the thing is there's a lot of ways to go. There's a lot of iconography, a lot of ways to go. And when I want to introduce a game to someone, I don't want to overwhelm them with that much different paths that you can take. That's why, for example, Airlines Europe or other games are on our list, but it's a matter of taste,
I would say
matter of choice.
I would actually say additionally that we might think that non-gamers wouldn't get the game, and we would show them the simpler, but the way we showed some of the games to our non-gamer friends, I was mostly surprised in a good way how well they were catching the difficult parts of the game. So that actually kind of really work. I think it's just a problem in our thinking that there's just
sometimes
too
it
hard
depends.
for them.
Maybe we don't know the person that well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to next one. It's Jeff, and Jeff says his favorite gateway game, is Paperback. And he says, I was looking for a deck building game that I could bring out to teach to non-gamers, and I found this game. Anyone who knows anything about spelling words like word games or is familiar with Scrabble-like games have no problem understanding how to play and really sinking their teeth in the game quickly. Probably best to start out with a low player count from 2 to 4 to keep the game short to hold the attention span. Yeah, that's a good sign here, a good thinking here about the attention as well. It's almost the same with the children as with the children. You need to get the attention of a non-gamer. And if the game is too long, the non-gamer will be bored. Probably.
Depends on the game quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but
that can be. Mm-hmm.
Paperback, not really sure about the choice because we haven't played it, but we got it the same time as we got Stockpile, so we'll definitely play it. We're looking forward to this one. Deck building is not our favorite genre right now anymore.
Yes, when it feels just like a clean deck building, but if it's like integrates so much more in it, then it's actually quite fun.
Game with deck building.
Sounds amazing to me.
So we'll try it soon. Now let's go to the next one. It's Suzanne for example Board Game Breakfast, and she says that her favorite game is two favorite games: Roll for It and No Thanks. And she says, Roll for It and No Thanks are two of my favorite gateway games. They feel familiar to non-gamers but offer new twists on gameplay many haven't seen before. They're easy and quick to teach and play, and they're portable, so you can always be ready for the random opportunity to introduce someone new to the hobby. Yeah, portable games, why not?
Yeah, don't know anything
Hello,
about.
who are you? Oh, John. Hello, I'm Ilja. No thanks, let's play. Sometimes I don't know how it works like with portable games. You just go somewhere to see someone you don't really know and just show him something out of your pocket.
Why it has to be someone you don't really know?
I don't know. Yeah, non-gamers because.
Yeah, you can play with coworkers, something like that.
Yeah.
You know coworkers, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to introduce.
Yeah, but I mean like gateway games, the games that you introduce to gamers who haven't really played any games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. Let's skip that.
We haven't played them, so we.
Yeah, we haven't played them.
Carry on.
So, Clive. Clive says, no-brainer, Revolution by Steve Jackson Games. It's quick, so little time to get bored. Simple rules, deep enough for gamers, but most importantly, it has a board, but is totally unlike what the Monopoly crowd think is a board game, and no downtime at all. Love it. I wanted to try it at some point, but haven't.
But it was quite a long time ago, so
Yeah.
haven't tried.
I know about it, but I'm not sure if you will try it still. Why not? It can be a really good choice. Don't know.
We would try it if we would have chance, but I don't think we'll buy it for that.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Zoe picked Small World for her best gateway game. And she says, this is one of the games I recommend to people when they come to our shop and are looking for a light game like Catan or Carcassonne. The rules are easy to learn, is a good game to get when you want something for 5 players, but also for 2, since it scales well for 2 as well. Yeah,
I think it's actually a really good pick. I really think so.
Probably yes.
We didn't like Small World, but we didn't look at it as a gateway game. We mostly played, 2 of us. No, we played with someone else.
We played a 3-player game.
It just wasn't for us, but I can totally see it as a gateway game actually.
And it's a good introduction into special abilities and area control probably.
Yes.
And a lot of that smart thinking, strategical thinking, what factions you get and whatever.
I can totally imagine that.
Yeah. It's colorful. It looks great. I'll give you that. But I'm not sure if.
Gateway game has to be beautiful, because non-gamers, I don't really think they would play some boring train game. They wouldn't really look at it.
Some boring train game. Let's go to next pick, or to next person. Andres. He says, He says, Ticket to Ride Europe for the easy rules, not aggressive nor long. King of Tokyo would be the competitive one, Spyfall for a bigger group. We have played all of them, and as you know, King of Tokyo made my list. Spyfall is a good choice as a party game, and that's the thing. That's why I would not agree even like regarding the big group for a gate. It depends what you mean by the gateway game.
It depends what you want to acquire.
And what you want to acquire, yeah. But Spyfall, why not? It's really easy. I have tried it with my co-workers, and they liked it most among all the other games. I showed them Survives, Escape from Atlantis. They liked it too, but they like Spyfall more. But they are not into games. They didn't even want to go into more games. Spyfall is. I cannot call Spyfall really like a board game. It's I don't know what it is. It's an activity.
Card game.
It's an activity.
No, it's a card game.
Fun board game-like activity, but whatever. And Ticket to Ride, of course, everyone knows Ticket to Ride, and everyone says Ticket to Ride is a gateway game. We just didn't like it.
It was too easy for... I can't imagine, all of our friends don't need that easy games.
Yeah.
As introduction games.
Let's say...
it's not funny.
I would say for me it was really boring. For me it's a boring game. You can shout now, scream that, oh! But I think we skip all the classics because
somehow we skip them.
They feel boring, they play boring, or they look boring, and we're not into classics. Cult of the Future. All right. The last one is Baker, and he's the online board offline. If you know him, you probably know him from Board Game Blender. And he says, my number one choice is Forbidden Island. The reason I think this is a great gateway game is it creates a simple and streamlined gaming experience while still providing decent depth of strategy. Also, since it is a cooperative game, an experienced player's knowledge of the game becomes a positive aspect for the new players, as opposed to them being beaten down by the experienced player in a competitive game. Just be sure not to alpha game them. Alpha gamers in cooperative game, I think I've heard really good things about Forbidden Island to be sort of a gateway cooperative game, and as a cooperative game, I think it's a good choice as well. Because most cooperative games are still really gamey ones, and they have great theme normally. For example, I didn't pick Mysterium, although I would maybe have picked Mysterium as well as a gateway. So cooperative games are really easy to take some more thinky cooperative games and show them to people, because then you play with them and then you can explain extra rules and you can manage the fiddliness in some of the games, and they will just enjoy the experience with you together.
But still, cooperative game as a gateway game, sure, great idea. Absolutely.
I think cooperative games are working the best as gateway games, mostly. Even for us, we played Arkham Horror after Munchkin, Munchkin was our introductory game into this world, but on the other hand, Munchkin is we didn't want to play anything, but then we went into straight Arkham Horror. And after that, I got excited. I got excited in that board gaming world and in that hobby world. So Arkham Horror was my gateway game of some sort, and it's quite hard. So these were the.
You can understand now why we skipped the classics, right? Yeah. If Arkham Horror was gateway game.
Arkham Horror, Cosmic Encounter was the other one. So that were picks from our friends and our picks. Comment what are yours, and feel free to. And there's a telephone as well. Sorry for that. All done. I just wanted to say that the next one will be top 3 combat games, and I'll explain that a bit later in the next video, obviously. And please go to our Twitter, Instagram, subscribe, share, and we'll see you then next time in top 3 combat games. Bye bye.
Bye.